Welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Scary Muffin here, and we're looking at another match from the June Internationals. My opponent this time is going to be Ryu, and he's got a fairly interesting team featuring probably Mega Lucario. He's got the Sableye, which has been vexing me so with his hexes recently. He's got the Rotom to deal with my rain, and as well as the Mungus, which should probably give me trouble. But luckily, I predict, aside from the Rotom, I felt very confident leading off with the Talonflame having faster priority than the Sableye, and also being able to hit for super effective against the Lucario and the Mungus. So I start off here and I'm going to Brave Bird the Lucario, and his best move would have been to protect with Lucario and Spore with Mungus, but I think regardless of, it's still a risky move if he predicts my attack, and I was just going to Brave Bird the Lucario. If he Rage Powders, I'll hit the Mungus anyways and knock it out. If he protects with the Mungus, then I was going to be balls out of luck. So I really wanted to go after that Lucario right off the bat with a double target. So I'm going to Brave Bird, and of course the Brave Bird gets diverted by the Rage Powder. This is fine by me as well within my calculations. I do get the one hit KO on him. Get hit by a little bit of the Rocky Helmet damage. Definitely after the recoil will put me well within range of the Lucario doing anything really to me. But instead he goes for the close combat on the Politoed, and it does a ridiculous amount of damage. Look at that! But thankfully my Politoed is bulky spread. I focus mostly on survivability so that I can Perish Song. He does make Perish Song basically unviable at this point in the match. I'm going to Scald him, and he must be all invested in attack because that hurt him a lot. Has basically a frail bird, and he gets burned and gets taken out. So I'm up on a 2-0 win here, a 2-0 lead rather, and I'm in excellent position to take this. He's going to bring out the Sableye, and I really am wary of Sableye because I've just seen a lot of pranksters do some shenanigans recently, and I've been on the poor receiving end of those things as well. He recovers, assuming that I was going to Brave Bird right off the bat, but instead I actually go for the Taunt, which is one of those weird moves on Talonflame. He actually reveals the Mental Herb and is immune to the Taunt, and I was totally caught off guard by this. Thankfully, I had brought in my Ludicolo, and he had targeted the Thunderbolt onto the Ludicolo instead. I slap him with the Fake Out so that I can get off the second taunt for free, and he obviously knew the taunt was coming, so he went for the foul play, and does really good damage actually to the Lucario. Look at that. Now I go for the Brave Bird onto the Sableye. Sableye basically has no way to protect himself from this, and I really want to get him down before his taunt wears off. I knew my Talonflame was going to go down, but with the Brave Bird, I knew it wouldn't do that much damage against the Rotom anyways. I go for the Giga Drain on Rotom, put him within, put him on the ropes basically. And surprisingly, he doesn't have a... Oh no, he does have a Citrus Berry. Okay. But it puts the Ludicolo back up at fairly good health. He does go Thunderbolt again, that's neutral damage against the Ludicolo. And the foul play, actually, you can see right here, it's kind of knocked me out unbelievably. A critical hit makes a difference, actually, because if I was able to get off another free Giga Drain or even just an attack on the Sableye, I would have been fine. But now the game's a little closer than I would have liked. Thankfully, I have a Scrafty at full HP, bringing it in, and the Scrafty basically threatens both his Pokemon. His foul play is probably very slow. Even slower than Politoed. He actually had a chance if he was a little bit invested in speed, but I think he was probably invested in survivability. I'm not expecting to use the foul play, and my Politoed actually goes first and gets the knockout on Sableye. If Sableye was a little bit faster and foul played that Politoed, this would have made a big difference, I think. In either case, I'm going to protect with Politoed this turn just so the next turn is harder for him to get a KO. He basically probably had to go for the Politoed. If he went for the KO on Scrafty, it would just make his life a little bit more miserable because he still had to predict which one to attack. He does get the KO off on Politoed, but it doesn't really matter. Either one of my Pokemon would have been able to deliver the finishing blow, and that was the game. So things went fairly well in my favor, and this time around I out-predicted my opponent, and surprising damage coming out from all the different Pokemons, from that Sableye, from my Ludicolo, and from the Politoed Scald in the beginning. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, stay tuned. There's going to be a couple more games from the June Internationals. Until then, guys, see you later.